My name is Jason. Jason Vaughn. I'm 32 years old. A father. I was married with a wife, and I had a child. They're gone. My wife is gone. My son is taken. To start from the beginning, I should start with how I got here. I was frozen in a vault. Vault 111. To my understanding, I was preserved in some pod until now. 210 years. I've been out here for about a month, maybe, with survivors. Things just got worse from there. The people who he took Sean. I saw it happen. I couldn't do anything but watch. By the time I thought it was too late, I was alone. Alone in that empty, cold vault. The only thing there was the roaches and the skeletons. It felt like ages before I decided to leave. Outside, the world blanketed me in fog. That's when everything happened. A man waited for me on the outside. A father. Like me. Harry. He told me that his daughter, Alyssa, I believe, and my son, John, were both taken by them. It says that this wasteland was changed the moment both our children were kidnapped. I guess before this, the world was its own form of danger. Mutated, he claimed. God. Harry said that my child was taken for a prophecy. An unholy marriage to be had at the monument of the world's greed. Dunwich horrors. If I head there, he said, I would find a door that would lead to what he calls the Whispering Hills. That's where they took Sean and Alyssa. My son. Yeah. At first, I thought he was fucking with me. I pulled a gun on him. I had to. I needed to just kill something. The rage inside me, it's still there. I'm still so angry. It's only gotten worse. I can't even sleep in my own fucking house or be dear Codsworth. Everything I tried to tell that stupid robot fell on deaf ears. Fucking Tin Can was more terrified of Fallout than when I told him. At least he gave me this tape to remember. Nora.
How hard do it for our family? Now, say goodbye, Sean. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
Hello, it is I, Crimson Gray, and as you can see, we are in Sanctuary in Fallout 4 in a little fog world. Now, for those of you who have seen the channel update of 2025, you already know what this is about, but for those of you who are new viewers, subscribers, and so on, yeah, welcome. I am Crimson Gray. I am a voice actor, part-time writer for mods, and I have a profound love for everything Fallout and RPG stuff. And I also have a profound love for everything horror-related, psychological, and so on. So, this playthrough, this roleplay series, is going to be marrying the two concepts into one. So let's go over what that means. First off, as a meta explanation, you are seeing it as you saw in the intro. This is a adaptation of Fallout 4's main story with the sole survivor, but the twist is we are doing the Whispering Hills storyline from this username Nexus.
I want to chit chat.
Okay, we're gonna get away from these fucking people. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Fuck. So, with that said, unlike other roleplay channels and series that I've been deeply inspired by, Rycon Roleplays, Inferno Canuck, and Spiffy Squee, this is not going to be long play series, even though that would be beneficial to the channel, because nowadays people love to watch, like, hours-long content. Rather, this is going to be short, condensed, holotape narrations from the character's point of view that recaps all of the events that have happened in my Fallout playthrough. What that means is you'll be seeing an arrangement of footage, clips, and so on to go forth with the narration of holotape diaries that the character, my character, Jason Vaughn, has went through in his journey to take back his son from a bunch of crazed cultists that brought the world of the Whispering Hills fog into the Commonwealth. So, it's gonna be probably, like, at best 8 to 10 minutes long each episode. It's gonna be a condensed version of many things that are recognizable to the Fallout 4 canon, as well as different things because of, well, the Whispering Hills mod. Now, to be even more transparent, the Whispering Hills mod is not the only mod I have installed. I actually have a number of other horror mods installed, some of which include the Kelly Manor mod, In the Flesh, which I kind of don't know which of these is that. I think some of these are just, you know, the Enclave update. And if I'm not mistaken, we have Attack of Lobotomites. And as for the rest of the mods on my list, it's pretty much just stuff that's, you know, pretty casual. Silent Protagonist, the Dialogue UI mod, Cheat Terminal, because I do think that not being able to save on survival mode is stupid. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Backpacks at the Commonwealth, which I don't know if on this save file I have it equipped yet. Yes, I do. Yeah, right here. So, It's just some quality of life mods with some horror mods sprinkled in. But for the most part, we are going straight through on Whispering Hills content, which does include all episodes. Episodes 1 to 4, I think, is the capstone of the adventure quests. So, what kind of roleplay is this going to be, and how is this going to be different from really any other roleplays you've seen on YouTube, the internet at large, especially with Fallout 4? Well, first off, I'm going to reassure you one major thing. We are not going to be doing the same thing over and over and over, which is Soul Survivor gets out of Vault 111, goes to Concord, gets Preston, starts the Minutemen, goes and gets Sean from Diamond City, or tries to figure out what's going on in Diamond City, has to go this whole thing with Kellogg, and then the Institute, and all that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Instead, we are going to briefly, with Episode 0, which is what you're watching now, and a little bit of Episode 1, do a bit of Vault 111, Preston, and Concord, but primarily because of the Whispering Hills mod, we are going to have Jason Vaughn at level 6, as you can see here, travel out east to Dunwich Borers to find Sean, because the Whispering Hills episodes pretty much gives a twist that your son Sean was taken by the cult of the Whispering Hills. So, that's the major difference. We're going to readapt Fallout 4's main storyline so that it's more found footage, analog horror with elements of course, Silent Hill and many other horror films I grew up on, primarily Jacob's Ladder, which inspired the Silent Hill series, and we're just going to have a fun twist. Now then, as you can see as I am showing my screen, Jason Vaughn at level 6. So, why level 6 and not just back at level 1? Why not the journey to go through the levels? Simply put, there's not much to do in the early game besides basically Fallout Minecraft with the settlement build, and of course what I just said a minute ago, Concord, all that. And the way I have it segmented with Jason's present tense and past tense is that he canonically has already been out here for about a month. Saves us a lot of time, saves us a lot of nonsense repeating of many other Fallout 4 playthroughs, and gets right into the meat and potatoes of what Jason is doing now different from other styles of roleplay. That said, let's go over the perks. So as you can see, Jason is primarily good at charisma, intelligence, endurance, strength. He's not great at perception or agility, and he's definitely piss poor in luck. Now, let's just kind of keep going down. What did I pick for perks? So far at level 6, I got Big Leaks, Lone Wanderer, because, I mean, why would I even do a horror roleplay if I'm just going to have companions with me the entire time? Sneak, Medicine, or Medic, rather. And Local Leader for when I do have segments of kind of Jason relaxing back at base Sanctuary and there is settlement stuff happening in the backdrop of his adventures to try and retrieve his son. So, now that we got that covered, let's talk a little bit about meta-wise who Jason is as the sole survivor in my interpretation and why. So Jason Vaughn, as in the intro tape it suggests, is a 32-year-old man who, like in the sole survivor backstory, was a veteran in the Sino-American Wars and the front lines of the Anchorage battle. He clearly has a bit of an unhinged anger and volatile nature when it comes to violence. He, like the sole survivor proper of Fallout 4, has to witness his wife executed and his baby taken. He is someone who, in my interpretation, is going to wrestle with many thoughts, his own dispositions about violence and morality, and in a way, I want to make Jason Vaughn more of a tormented soul to fit the vibe of the Whispering Hills. It's kind of my take of if the Soul Survivor had a Jason Sunderland vibe from Silent Hill 2. That said, though, I am not going to go so James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2 that it's a bit of the OG voice acting of that game, or even the remake that many people have played. It's my whole take, it's my whole spin. I'm going to take it in certain directions that I feel are natural, but for the most part, that is my philosophy when doing these holotape narrations and voice acting Jason Vaughn for just what I think he would do in the Commonwealth with this horror theme going on. And last but not least, how much of this is going to be Fallout versus psychological horror, Silent Hill adjacent type content? Well, if you're starving for a true, authentic Fallout experience, I would recommend going through my channel and looking at Fallout 1 Crispin's Tale. Now, it is a little bit on hiatus because, unlike the other series, it is trying to recreate my roleplay of Fallout 1 in its 1997 isometric point of view through Fallout New Vegas Machinima. And that takes a lot of time. I actually have other friends of mine who are voice actors that I got on board to voice act some of the other characters in holotape recorded kind of style interview talks with my Vault 13 dweller. But because of life in 2025, like I said on my channel update, it's going to take a while before any new episodes come out there. But so far, we got, if you're counting part 1 and 2 of episode 5, about 6 to 8 episodes of Crispin's Tale from a Fallout 1 Vault 13 dweller perspective, from Vault 13 all the way to Shady Sands and down to Junktown, dealing with Gizmo. So, if you're starved for that kind of Fallout, go there. But if you want more of this unique Silent Hill, otherworld psychological thriller, this is what to expect with this series, Fallout the Whispering Hills roleplay. So, I think I answered everything that you guys need to know when it comes to what to expect. So without further ado, here's the rest of the holotape that Jason recorded about the events that has led him here. This is an outro tape that is going to play, and it will lead us out to the end of episode 0.
Sorry, I needed a moment. Where was I? Oh, right. What's been happening this whole month? I went to Concord. Rather, I tried. At least I was stopped by them. The monsters. The survivors have names for them, but they're all hard to tell which is meant for which. The things that attacked me, and would I still fight? They're what Harry says. They're not of this world. It can't be. Even as I've gotten more used to the world and its nature, I've only scratched the surface of the terror that lies beneath. Concord proved as much. When I went inside the city streets, she was just full of these figures. Hordes of them. It was only when I saw Preston from the balcony of that museum that I had any hope. He called out to me to head inside and fight the raiders. I didn't know what he meant, but I knew a madman like him blowing my cover was just gonna get me killed if I didn't help. I grabbed his dead friend's laser musket and stormed in. It felt like war again. The gunshots and bullets, the blooded bodies. Just like the front lines out in Anchorage. When I finally met Preston and the others, it was obvious how bad things were. 5 people, and only one of them could hold his own. Preston needed me, and I needed him. So I went with him in Sturgis's crazy plan. I got myself that power armor off the roof of the museum. Standard T-45 with a minigun mount from a vertibird. The mission was simple. Clear all hostiles of the streets. Of course, even with power armor, it was no easy feat. The monsters out there were overwhelming. Whatever was left of the raiders, they got picked off clean from the horde as I was spraying hellfire. Those things kept pinning me down with this acid like spit. It was dissolving parts of my armor, T-45 and all. I didn't know what to do. It just as I was already out of my wits' end, I heard it. The beast.